Hey guys, Cameron here, episode number 2 of Change the Way You Think podcast. I want to say thanks for listening. I hope this grows and gets better. I want to start off by saying that, I'm not a professional. Nothing I do will be edited. I don't plan on editing it. I am doing video so I can put on YouTube and everything else. But like I said in my first episode, I'm here to help people change the way they think, to go from chaos to peace. A lot of people in this world have so much crap going on in their brains, in their minds, in their life, right? That they're allow the media, social media, people, family, just bother them to the point to where they put the blame game on everybody else, and they're just in total chaos. Something I used to be, right? I grew up in a not so good childhood. My dad was a woman beater. The first memory I ever had of my dad, I was 2, and he kicked the door in and beat the shit out of my mom. He raised me in bars. My mom was not much better growing up. She was in a cult when I was 10. I have 5 younger brothers and sisters. I'm the only kid with my mom and dad. My dad's also a pedophile. He's been in prison since I was 18. And so I have no room for that. And like, that's something that really, talk about something caused chaos. That's it. But my life was not great growing up. It's not the worst. There's people that's definitely had worse than what I had. There's people that had better, but I used to be a very angry child, a very angry young adult. I used to have a chip on my shoulder, and then one day I had my son, and it changed my life forever. And I still had a chip on my shoulder. I was still negative. I always expected the worst, and if the best happened, great. So what happened? I got a mentor when I got into real estate investing. I hired a coach, and he had me read a book, and I never read a book before. I just never understood. I had no mentors. I was doing everything on my own. I thought I didn't need anybody. I thought that I could do this life by myself, and I was angry, and I just pissed off at everybody. So hired the coach, read a book. I was like, holy crap, reading this book's amazing. So I started reading, and I started hiring other mentors to help me mentally, to help me figure out how to be a better person and how to live a life that I felt that I need, a life of purpose that God gives us. And I do believe God gives us all a life of purpose, and it's our job to seek that purpose and pursue it. So how did I go from chaos to peace, right? That's kind of my motto is, how do we do that? And it's by changing the way you think. Quit blaming your family, quit blaming society, quit blaming other people, and take responsibility for your own mind, your own actions. To me, God is a very big part of mine. He didn't used to be. I used to, at one point, I didn't even believe, and it was the darkest time I ever had, and that'll never happen again. And to me, peace comes from God. True joy and true peace does, and I believe that everybody should read the Bible and do their own search, their own searching and their own research on that, and really dig into that, and not listen to what other big churches or big influencers say, to get your own opinion. And really, if you really do that, I believe it will change your life. But it's changed mine. So anyways, going from chaos to peace and changing the way you think, right? To me, it was reading books, hiring mentors, and learning that I'm responsible for my own actions, my own reactions, right? That freedom, that space between stimulus and response is the freedom to choose. Stephen Covey, I believe, wrote that in 7 Habits. And it's something that's really hit me hard when I read that, is that I do have the freedom. Yeah, sometimes I don't control it, especially with my son. He pushes my buttons more than anybody, but I do have the freedom to choose how I respond to something. And every now and then I get angry, I let it get a hold of me, and I have to sit back and think. But I tell you what, at least I know it. I didn't used to know it. Now I know it when I do it, and I know how to improve. Because of the things that I've done, the reading and putting into action, not just reading, but putting into action what I read, putting into action what my mentors have taught me, and not just taking it in. So if you're blaming other people, if you're going through all this crap and you think it's your family's fault or your past, right? Your past does kind of mold you to who you are, but you don't have to let that be who you are. Your present choices is what it's about, right? Not worrying about tomorrow, which is something I used to do, is worry about something I had no control of. We may not even be here tomorrow. Death is very real. And I believe if you really start understanding that you could die, your kids could die tomorrow, today, right now, then it'll put it in perspective. There is no choice. We all die. So live for right now. Live in the present moment. Live to do better right now than you did yesterday. And don't let the past affect you. I mean, yes, it's to learn from, but it's not to affect you for the future. We have to live today to set up tomorrow. And And all that's coming with changing the way you think. And that's something it's my motto. It's something I live by, is that whenever something isn't going your way, when you're blaming other people, when you're angry, whenever you're making excuses because you're broke or because you don't have anything or your family's not helping you or they shit on you or whatever the story may be, you really need to look in the mirror and realize it's up to you. It's up to you to what you let in your mind. It's up to you to what you let in your space to affect you. And you're the only one that can change that. So that's a lot of what my podcast is going to be about. I will get into other specifics of what I do to help me, take that chaos and turn it into peace, and what I do to help change the way I think whenever I need to be in a moment that I know I'm not in. A lot of things I do starts first thing in the morning. When I get up first thing in the morning, I usually wake up at 4:45. I get up, I read, I pray. And then I do my affirmations, usually go to jiu-jitsu or work out. Then I'll come home, I'll read the Bible, and I'll write in my morning journal, something that I do pretty religiously. It's really helped me. I didn't used to do any of that stuff, 4 or 5 years ago. Now I do it religiously. And I always add things, right? Things, or take away things. Not everything's for me, but the things that do help me that I know, I stick with it. Then after I read, I do want to be a speaker one day and get on stage and speak. So I practice my speaking every day. And then I get on with my day. Then, throughout the day, whatever I have to do for work, I own a real estate investing company, Strike Real Estate Investors, if anybody wants to check it out. So at the end of the day, we go, Striker goes to jiu-jitsu. Striker's my son. He goes to jiu-jitsu, and then we come home, and then I'll read a book or parts of a book, whatever, a couple of chapters, depends on the book. And then I'll write in my nightly journal to help me see how my day went, see if I'm on the path to where I need to be, where, doing the things that I need to do to make myself a better person, a more successful person. And it helps me, right? So I do a lot of things, and I will get more specifics about that kind of stuff as we go through these episodes. And I hope this really does help someone change the way they think. I hope this helps people go from chaos to peace, to realize that they're not alone, that this life is hard, but it's simple. Right? There's so many things you can do that's really simple to make yourself a little more peaceful, a little more happy, a little more joyful. And that's changing the way you think. I know I say that a lot, but that is the way it is. So I hope y'all enjoy these podcasts. Please let me know. Please let me know if there's anything you're struggling with. Maybe I can help. Maybe I can't. Maybe I can lead you on a path to help, right? To help you get through that chaos. Another thing you need to do, what I do is I follow the right people, right? I follow the people that I feel that are sincere. I'm a real good judge of character, and I follow people that are really sincere. So I listen to them. I follow them on podcasts. I watch their videos. I read the books they recommend. Or I read a book and they'll recommend a book, so I'll get another book. My son calls me a book addict because I'm always buying books. I have a ton of books that I haven't read, but I always buy books. I do like to read. It's really, to me, the best way to learn and grow is reading books. I don't read science fiction. I just don't. I read books that help me mentally, that help me with sales, help me with things that I need to improve in life. And because I want my son to have a life that I didn't have. I want my son to not have to struggle like I did growing up. And I definitely don't like to put him in the path that I was at when I was a kid. I do my best not to put him in any kind of path that I was in growing up, I guess. I don't know if that's the word I'm looking for, but I'm doing my best just to raise him the way God wants me to raise him. And it's for purpose. We're all here for purpose, not to watch Netflix, I don't watch sports. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but I don't let it take up my time. And there's other things I can do to get where I want to get in life. Am I started late? I don't know. I'm starting in God's timing. I'm not, sometimes I think about that. Like, man, I should have started this earlier. Yeah, I should have, but I didn't. So I have to move on. That's not looking in the past, but looking where I'm at now to be better. Starting this podcast, I've been wanting to do it for years, and I'm doing it. Something I know God's put on my heart to do, because I know there's people out there that I can help from the life that I've lived, from the experiences that I've had to help people. So that's it. I mean, I think that's it for my second podcast. I just, I just hope that everybody listens. I hope you let me know what you think about the podcast. Like I say, I will get more lessons, I guess, one-on-ones of what I do about certain things, how changed the way I think whenever certain things come up in my life, and how to cope and do those things. And this is from, like I say, books and mentors, and just putting it in action and not just talking about it. Things that I actually do to help myself. And I truly want to serve. I truly want to help others. I truly want to get people to understand that there is a place of true peace and true joy. And I'm not saying happiness. I said true peace and true joy to me comes from God, and true freedom comes from God in my eyes. I'm not perfect. I'm gonna cuss. I'm gonna get angry. But my faith is number one over everything, and it's truly changed who I was. And that's on my own opinion. No one put that in me. I decided to go on this journey myself and actually start learning and reading and researching and doing my own stuff for my own self, and it's changed my whole life. And I pray that happens to you too, if you are a believer. If not, that maybe you will become to help you understand what this life's about. So that's it, episode number 2. Please let me know what you think. If you have anything you'd like to tell me or talk about, I'll be more than happy. I really appreciate y'all listening. I hope y'all continue to listen. We'll talk to y'all later.